Good morning, class. So last week we went over the rules of how to play in a badminton match. We went over serving as well. And today we're actually going to go over tactics and strategies that we can use during a match, so that way we're more efficient during the game, and that way we're able to trick our opponent and win the match faster. I have stations laid out. I have 3 stations. Each station is going to focus on an offensive strategy or a defensive strategy, and also some tactics as well. So before we go into those stations, we first want to begin our warm-up. So I'm going to have everyone please stand on the line, have feet shoulder distance apart, give each other some space, and let's begin our warm-up. Ready, begin. Now we're done with the warm-up, we can now begin our stations. So we're going to focus on the first station, and then we'll go to the second, and then we'll go to the third. Again, each station is going to focus on offensive strategies and defensive strategies as well as tactics. So the first station, we're going to serve high and use a low disguised serve. And what I mean by that is that the purpose of this station is to recognize your opponent's feet. In a game, if I notice that my opponent serves high, they serve the birdie high towards my side of the backcourt, and I notice that they're not moving their feet towards the middle or towards the front of the net on their side of the court, then I'm gonna aim low. Why? Because it's gonna be hard for them to receive from that location, because they're so far apart. So you and your partner are gonna compete against one another, and one of you is gonna decide whether or not to continue serving high or to aim low. So again, I'm gonna be on the other side of the court, my partner's gonna be on the other side of the court, we're gonna face each other, right? If the distance is too far apart, right, if the serving line is too far apart for you to make sure that the birdie goes over the net, you can decrease the distance, okay? Or you could use a bigger racket if it's hard for you to strike the birdie. But again, your partner's gonna be on the other side of the court, you're gonna be facing each other. Both of you is gonna focus on serving high, right? It's gonna be a competition. Both of you are gonna focus on serving high, and one of you is gonna decide whether or not to continue serving high or to serve low. But only if you see that your partner or your opponent is not moving their feet. Because again, if they're just in the back court, right, and then they're not moving their feet towards the middle or towards the front of the net, and then again, it's gonna be hard for them to receive a shot if the birdie goes to that location, towards the middle or to the front of the net. Because again, the distance is gonna be too far apart. So this is an offensive strategy. It's probably one of the easiest points you can get during a badminton match, because if you notice that your opponent's feet are not moving towards the middle, and if you notice that your opponent is tired during the match and they're not able to move their feet again towards the middle, then it's gonna be an easy point. So this is the first station. The second station is gonna be the same concept, but this time you're gonna aim towards the corners of the back court or to the corners of the front court on their side of the court. So can someone tell me why we should aim towards the corners? Thanks, Steve. Exactly. Because it's hard to receive from those corners. So what I mean by that, let's say for example, this line right here, right, is the net. Right here is a corner. Right here is a corner. That corner right there is a corner. And that corner over here is a corner. If I notice that my opponent, right, is right in front of the net or slightly in the middle, and they're too far apart from the back corners, right, that one over here and this one over here, then I'm gonna aim obviously to those corners. Why? Because look at the distance of how I have to receive that shot from where I'm standing to that corner over there, or to that corner. It's really far, right? If your opponent is smart enough, they will back up and stand right in the middle. Why? Because they're gonna decrease the distance from the corner to where they're at. But if they're right in the front, or slightly right in the front, and they don't notice that they're in the front, right? Because in the game, you can be so confused that you forget where you're at. right, during a match. And so if you read your opponent, and if you know that they're right in front of the net, then you should aim towards one of the corners. It's an easy point that you can get during a game. So that's gonna be the second station. So again, you and your partner are gonna compete against one another in a regular match. And if you see that your partner is in front of the net, then you should aim towards the corners, okay? But make sure both of you are serving towards the corners. Try not to serve towards the middle. Just make sure you're serving towards the back corners or the front corners. It's gonna be difficult to serve towards the front corners because you're gonna have to use a little bit more movement on your wrist. But if that's too hard for you, then that's okay. Focus just aiming towards the back. All right, so that's gonna be the second station. The third station, we're gonna focus on a defensive stance drill. Defense always wins championships. Doesn't matter if it's basketball, football, doesn't matter what sport. If you're good on defense and if you're smart on defense, and if you know the different techniques and how to move your feet on defense, then you're gonna be very efficient during the game and you're gonna beat your opponent faster. So the purpose of this station is that you're gonna practice maintaining your position in the middle on your side of the court. And the reason I say that is because during a match, if I'm in the middle, every location on my side of the court is decreased. Because like the other stations, let's say for example, I'm right in front of the net and I'm trying to receive a shot again from that corner, it's gonna be hard for me to receive from that location. But if I'm in the middle, right? I decrease my distance from the net and I'm right in the middle. All I have to do is just take 4 steps back, right? And receive the shot. But if I'm all the way in front of the net, look how much I have to get to make sure I get to that location, right? So the purpose of this station is that your partner is gonna serve the birdie, and your job is to make sure you have your feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, your eyes are forward, right? And you receive the shot where your partner is gonna aim at, okay? And your job is to move your feet. So for example, let's say my partner serves the birdie towards that corner. I'm gonna back up, back pedal, use the backhand. Then from here, you're gonna go again to the middle. Get back to the middle and get ready for the next shot. Let's say for example, your partner serves towards the front of this cone right here. I'm again, feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, my eyes are looking forward, right? I'm gonna come towards the corner, use the forehand, right? And I'm gonna aim towards where I wanna aim at. Once you receive the shot, get back to the middle, right? So again, let's say for example, same thing. My opponent or my partner serves the birdie, right? It comes to this location, I'm gonna back pedal, receive the shot, get back to the middle. Comes to that location, I back pedal, receive the shot, get back to the middle. But notice I'm maintaining my position in the middle. I'm not going all the way in front of the net, or I'm not going all the way to the back of the court. I'm right in the middle. This is gonna help you not only save the distance from the location, but it's gonna help you be prepared to aim or to receive that shot and have an idea of where you're gonna aim the birdie at once you receive that shot, okay? This is a defensive strategy that you can use during a game, and it's gonna be very helpful, but again, you have to move your feet. If you're not moving your feet left to right, or it's from corner to corner, or front to back, then it's gonna be hard for you to receive a shot. So this is the third station. We're gonna be rotating clockwise, so we make sure that we're going to station 1, station 2, and then station 3. Each station is gonna have a criteria sheet. So if you're stuck on a station, just look at the criteria sheet. It's gonna help you, tell you exactly what needs to be done. If you're still stuck, you could ask me. I'm gonna be walking around making sure that everyone's participating. So if you have a question, ask me, and I'll be willing to help you out. Again, if you need a bigger racket, there are tennis rackets for you. Those are much bigger than badminton rackets. And if you don't feel like using a birdie because it's too hard to strike the birdie, we could use some tennis balls that we have around here. But again, it's gonna be the same concept. All we're focusing on is just moving your feet and make sure you're reading your opponent. That's the purpose of this lesson, okay? So let's begin our stations. Again, we're gonna rotate clockwise. On the blowing the whistle, you may begin. Ready, begin. Now that we're done with our stations, let's bring it in. Please bring it in. Please form half a circle in front of me, and please take a seat. Okay, I saw a lot of improvement from everyone. Everyone did an amazing job, especially on the third station. Everybody was moving their feet. Everyone was making sure that their knees were slightly bent. So we did an amazing job. For homework, I want you to research new tactics and strategies that we haven't learned today. I only laid out a few, but there's so many out there that you can learn from. Once you learn the new strategy, I want you for the next class session to share that strategy or to share a new tactic that you learned for the class. So that way everybody knows that new strategy. And again, any physical game, it could be football, basketball, tennis, badminton. It's a physical game, but it's also a mental game. If you're smarter than your opponent, then you're gonna have that advantage against your opponent, and you're probably gonna win most of the games, right? Or most of the matches. So that was the purpose of this lesson today. Other than that, if you have any questions, please stay after class. Class is dismissed. Thank you.